You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time for us to look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers and to make headway and also give understanding to some of the issues we'll look at. I have Obaniyi Akinwale here, one of our analysts. Good morning.
Good morning.
To see you.
Good morning, brother.
Great. And I have Dr. Dayo Kayode here as well. Dr. Kayode, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great.
Too.
Now let's kick start with the Punch newspaper. Punch says fuel sells for 400 naira a litre in Abuja. Others. Scarcity persists in Lagos. Marketers still struggling to return adulterated petrol to NNPC. Corporation pleads for patience, says fuel queues will end soon. Okay, that's the Punch newspaper. Of course, I wonder what the experiences have been for Dr. Kayode and me. They'll tell us when we open discussion. Vanguard newspaper is next, and it says bad fuel. Ipman, Dapma's price war worsens scarcity. Pump price rises to 180 naira per litre, and petrol supply to stations will soon normalize. Federal government is saying this as technical other committees begin work. Okay, that's the Vanguard newspaper. This News Direct is next, and it says fuel marketers petition. Nimasa Act backs freight charges payment in dollars. DG of Nimasa is quoted as saying this. Remits 78 billion naira in 2 years to Federation account. Reduces piracy by 58.02%. Okay, that's News Direct. The Guardian is next, and he says strike not again. Anxious Nigerians warn federal government and ASU. Not again on the strike issue. Union extends meeting to announce decision today. And we understand there was a meeting through the weekend, and we'll wait to hear the outcome today. Most lecturers support industrial action, says source. Parents, stakeholders appeal for restraints. Ex-minister seeks intervention of former union leaders. And that's the Guardian newspaper. If we have time, of course, we'll talk about this as well. Right? Nigerian Tribune is next. And it's talking about the strike. All eyes on ASU. Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune says all eyes on ASU. Union leaders hold marathon meeting to announce decision today. NANS to federal government. Avert strike at all cost right now. What is the contention? 2009 agreement, memorandum of understanding signed since that time. Now let's move on to this day. This day says Lai Mohammed berates Canada's double standard over protest. Lai Mohammed, as the Minister of Information, berates Canada's double standard over protest. That's what this day has there. Now from there, let's move to Daily Times. Daily Times says the federal government accuses Canada, Twitter of double standards over truckers' protest. Insists on regulation of social media, charges Nigerians not to allow anyone to destroy the country under the guise of protest, unbridled freedoms. Okay, that's what Daily Times is reporting. The Nation newspaper is focusing on something else. End SARS, federal government renews battle with Twitter. Okay, that's what the Nation newspaper is saying. The Nation newspaper says on NSAS, federal government renews battle with Twitter. Microblogging agency accused of double standards in Canada's truckers' protests. Okay, right? I believe everyone is following what's going on in parts of the world right now. Daily Trust is the next. Daily Trust says 2023 moves to draft Emefiele thicken. Emefiele is the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Buhari's men pushing Central Bank CBN governor, and he won't go anywhere. All right, those are still comments there. Group begins nationwide mobilization, and don't distract him. Apex Bank is saying this. All right, that's the Daily Trust on the political side. This Nigeria is next. And it says amended electoral bill. That's the focus on this Nigeria. The big suspense. CSOs, lawyers raise concern. Delay in assenting is for selfish agenda. Rafsanjani is quoted as saying this. Signing the bill paves the way for APC failure in 2023, says Wike. Okay, that's all that on the front page of this Nigeria. Okay, from there, let's go to Blueprint. Executive Order 10. Senior advocates of Nigeria, CSOs tango over Supreme Court ruling. Apex Court right. Order invitation to anarchy. Akinwale is saying this. Judiciary autonomy not within federal government's purview. Our Kalu is saying this. And Buhari ill-advised. Order not necessary. All right, Sislak and Dide Ojo are quoted as saying this. Recall that the Supreme Court has said that the Executive Order 10 is unconstitutional. Right, fine. So let's keep that aside. Now we'll move on to the Leadership newspaper. All right, it's talking politics here. Convention, APC in Denmark over governors plot to impose chairman. That's what the Leadership newspaper has. Governors settle for Sani Musa as national chairman, and party stakeholders write PMB urge president to single-handedly pick party chairman. Okay, these all on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. From there, let's go to First News. Diri's governorship is divine, says Jonathan. That's what First News is saying. Diri's governorship is divine, says Jonathan. Doye Diri is the governor of Bayelsa State, and President Goodluck Jonathan, former president, is an indigene of Bayelsa State. First News, that's First News. Let's go to Daily Independent. CBN may respond to pressure, tweak MPR twice this year. CBN may respond to pressure, tweak MPR price twice this year. All right, that's Daily Independent. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about these issues. Right now, where everyone is talking, everyone is complaining, everyone is not happy, especially with the issue of fuel. The moment you mention petroleum, everybody's impacted somehow, because you're either going to transport yourself somewhere and the cost of your transportation is going to be dependent on it, or you're going to buy fuel for your car or your generator or your machine or whatever the thing is. Nee, let me start with you on this. The Punch newspaper says fuel sells for 400 naira litre in Abuja. Others, and scarcity persists in Lagos. Marketers still struggling to return adulterated petrol to NNPC. I wonder what your experience has been.
I used to say it here that the problem of this country is not only about leadership. That the problem is citizenship. And I stand to be corrected, and I'm still very vehemently, strongly opinionated about my view. The few questions I would have loved to ask Nigerian is, who are the people requesting for subsidy removal? Who are the people that the subsidy are being paid to? Are they Americans or Togolese or Brazilians? Who are the people in charge of quality control? Maybe President Muhammadu Buhari, Tim Silva. Who are the people in charge of midstream and downstream sector? Maybe it goes from heaven or angels. So you look at it critically, who are the ones even selling this fuel? I bought the fuel, unfortunately, last week as well.
You bought the bad one?
The bad one. I asked my son to put on the generator, and I said, I'm coming. So the problem started calling me that generator is not coming on. So the engineer in me just asked me that, okay, let me open up the generator and see what the problem is. And I started taking out the fuel from the tank, and I discovered that I've been scammed. So
bad fuel. And the point is, who pays for that?
I've paid for it. My generator has paid for it. Vehicles has paid for it. The filling station selling this fuel, they have what they call quality control. There is what is called a viscosity meter that you use to measure the viscosity of the fuel. They have all these things available. Before you even discharge a liter of fuel in the morning, the traditional thing is for the fuel station manager to first check the level and check what is being dispensed first, to even check the quantity. These are not federal government officials. And what amazes me most is that at a particular point in time, some filling stations started ordering the fuel. You'll be shocked that The 400 naira per litre, what has changed? Is it that they bought it at 300 naira at the depot? So the first problem we have is that, are we genuine citizens of this country? Why should we make, Buhari is not going to buy fuel at 400 naira per litre. Buhari is not going to jump on transport. Someone is not going to jump on the train this morning. It is you and I that will use these public facilities, buy this fuel, allow our children to go to school, yet we still make life unbearable for common man on the street. And we keep shouting, our leaders, our leaders. What are the followers doing? Are the leaders the one selling the rated fuel or the link followership? Are the leaders the one manager of these resources that are supposed to come in? And somebody said they checked the fuel where it was imported, but they have the certificate that is good. And when the fuel back in Nigeria, we don't have a testing tool to check the level of methanol compared to it. Nothing. Somebody discharging to his facility, no quality check. Somebody dispenses to truck. And before you can dispense fuel to trucks, they still need to check the quality of the fuel. Yeah. And yet we are here chasing shadow and making complaints of citizenship is the problem in this country.
In fact, from the point of collection in Belgium, there would have been 5 or 6 points of checking to ensure it meets.
To ourselves.
Well, the point there is, I was going to get some petrol sometime, and I saw that there was a call for if you bring jerry cans or kegs to the filling station, you have to put something on top of it.
Of course,
that's
subsidiary to Buhari,
right? That also corroborates what you were saying, that the president cannot be. I wonder what's your experience like.
Sorry, thank you very much for allowing me to extend my theory further this morning. See, what we're experiencing now is nothing other than leadership conspiracy. And now, with its extension, we, the followers, are now helping. We are now helping matters. Because when you look at from Belgium, Antwerp, down to Nigeria, again now, down to even the filling station that is dispensing, because every money, or even when you are changing shifts, everyone that is taking over, we do Q and Q. Q and Q means quantity and quality. So that means the leadership have infiltrated, even with the followers, to be able to allow that swift to move to us. Now let me tell you where that conspiracy is coming from. When election is coming, you always experience one thing or the other in this country. Take it or leave it. 2014, 2015, we knew what happened. And I was among those that were shouting that this looks like a scam. Because how can all those things penetrate? And then they were now able to perpetrate that huge. Don't let me qualify it because of the national TV.
Yeah, please.
But along the line, late Madam Taraba came and said, if you are not careful, if you don't handle me with care, I will spill the beans as regards so events. Late Melafia, former CBN, said the same thing. Okay? Now we are seeing this. You see, all we need to do as a people, especially followers, is to come up and tell our leaders, stop playing politics with our lives. Look at this government in power. When they were in opposition, they were saying, oh, subsidy was a scam. Scam of the highest order. By the time we get there, fuel will be selling for 15 naira per litre.
40.
Even less. And the minute they came in, I think it was reduced a little bit.
14 naira difference.
It was reduced a little bit. And before you know it, the thing skyrocketed times 2. So tell me, where is that scam now? Who is scamming who? Is it scam upon scam versus scam? So these are issues. And that's why I said it is nothing other than leadership conspiracy. Because that means the scam you are seeing then, now that you are in office, you are still seeing the scam and you are now covering it up. So what do we call that? All
right, now we've seen a lot of different kind of sharp practices at this time. We had, I don't know if we still have the DPR, that ensures that there is compliance with all of these measures. You have the meter, and then there's a certain quantity of petrol you're supposed to buy at certain price. And then I discover that when you buy fuel, maybe you have a 5,000 naira, 5,000 fills your tank, depending on, I'm just citing an instance. But with this instance now, 6,000 would not even fill your tank. So talk to us about from this window. A lot of things going on, and we're supposed to have an NNPC or the Ministry of, because the signing into law of the new laws of NNPC and all of that.
Ministry,
PIA, the PIA are supposed to take care of some of these things.
I've always said, in this country, our problem has nothing to do with the law. Our problem are not to do with the law managers. Our problem is the people that will implement the law, and that has to do with citizenship. And I will still emphasize on that. 2 days ago, I read in Nupeng, a newspaper whereby Nupeng is also threatening now to go on strike. That the 621 billion allocated for the road construction is being diverted. You and I know that at least in the last decade, Nigerian refinery has never produced anything. But we have been spending billions of dollars on turnaround that is turning around pockets. The moment federal government say we want to do this, Pengassan will go on strike. Just an example of what happened. Someone imported this fuel that has higher methanol. So they say, is he a ghost? Has the country been brought to book? The people that Madam Okonjo-Iweala alleged that they don't have tank farm but they are collecting subsidy, has anybody been brought to book? Is Jerry sleeping, or there's no case for attendance again? So you find out that even people working within these government agencies know that there are some sacred cows. So if government, as we speak today, has alleged that so XYZ company were found culpable in this crime, and those companies has come out and said something is wrong with you, you are the only one that handle this product, you will see that, first of all, let us forget that in the Shibaju balance, we are where we are, where we are. The reason why we are where we are today is the kind of people that we have in government. And now who are the people? Nigerians like you and I. The DPR man that was supposed to be on the street to check whether there is fuel in this station or not, or whether they are selling right quantity, is in office taking tea or on his way to OPEC meeting. The man that was supposed to be Ip man to discover that his members are doing this extra is chasing subsidy. Now we are all here talking about adulterated fuel, people being shortchanged. Yet none of these major market associations or Ip man have never come out to sympathize with Nigerians.
And that is leadership conspiracy.
And these are the same of people that are saying, allow us to import. We want to sell at 400. We want to sell at 402. So what you see now is that the major players in the industry, not necessarily government, are gradually asking government to act off so that they can milk us the more. And I just something I said, Dangote refinery is supposed to start 2022. Federal government is muting removing subsidy 2022. You people said no because election in 6 months. Following month, they brought in methanol of 200 million liters. Then you are not willing to buy at 302, but you are now buying at 400. This is the hand is hand of Esau. The voice is voice of Jacob. We all know what is happening. But again, citizenship is very, very important and critical. If we don't own up these abilities, even common secretary at DPR, at every government agencies need to sit up and remember this country. And again, let me add this. How you know that citizens has failed us in this country? And I'll say is that election in Abuja over the weekend. Abuja Municipal Council area, somebody won with 19,000 votes. The total election, the 6 local governments in Abuja is not up to 200,000. Are you saying we don't have 200,000 citizens in Nigeria? Yet, you say on social media, they have 1 million votes. They have 2 million votes. So, except we wake up as citizens and do what is right as citizens, we will continue to export best brains from here to other parts of the world, and the worst part of us continue to rule us and continue to imbibe bad cultures that will ensure that they continue to keep people in penury and lack of ideas.
It's all right. Let's leave that here now. From the signing of the PIA, I understand DPR has now changed to NMDPR. NMDPRA.
Plenty name, midstream and downstream. They are under that ministry.
They are under,
under the midstream and downstream.
But, however, they have the same role,
of course,
and then some other things.
They still the same things. We are only changing the name of the content.
Okay.
It is still the same thing.
We are not changing
what it says. They just only the name on the container. The content still remain the same.
No problem. We will, at least the law recognizes it differently.
The law changes the name of the container, but the content, the law has
they baptized it and giving it a new name.
It's just rechristening.
Okay.
Old wine in a new skin.
So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see what comes out. Now let's talk about other issues. The ASU issue now. The Guardian puts it in strike. Not again. Anxious Nigerians want federal government. It's like, oh my God, we're still back here again.
ASU.
You know, ASU. The point there is the issue of 2009 agreement is still there until now. In fact, it was adjusted from MOU to MOA, Memorandum of Action at the time, but we're still here talking about the same thing over a decade.
You see, my take on that is, honestly speaking, I will keep on blaming ASU.
Why is that?
I will tell you. Because, Mike, when you are signing an agreement with somebody that you have known is antecedents, especially people that are well learned, people that understand that tomorrow is a function of yesterday plus today. So that means you must be able to understand who was Mike yesterday, who is Mike today, for me to be able to predict Mike to a very large extent for tomorrow. Now, you have known government, their activities, their antecedents, especially when it comes to agreements. Why did you not put in, okay, in this agreement, we got to have action plans and timelines and consequences when it's being jettisoned? Consequences. Did they have that in that agreement? If those things have been in that agreement since 2009, what have they been doing to ensure that the action plans, the timelines, and consequences of violation are being followed? You see, so these are the issues, and that's why I will keep on blaming ASU on this.
In their own explanations, they say they use the word gentlemanly because of their.
So I have a solution to this problem.
Yes.
The solution is simple. First of all, the National Assembly should wake up and pass a law. Yes, it's going to infringe on their freedom. All public officers, House of Assembly, executive, are no longer allowed to send their awards to private or foreign institutions. One. Two, that is for government and the ruling government. Two, whenever ASU is going on strike, ASU members should not teach in private institutions. You see the strike will work. Because if ASU Unilag is on strike, ASU as a private institution in Lagos is not on strike.
Yeah.
So you are only punishing the son and the daughter of the poor man on the street, not the one that cannot afford 3 square meal. If ASU is going to go on strike, let's ensure that both private and public universities is completely shut down.
But before then, private university must be compelled to also join ASU.
That's what I'm saying.
They find out compelled.
ASU Unilag is on strike.
But the private universities.
Bell University is not going on strike.
No. Yeah, but
Obasanjo was the president. PDP was Obasanjo was president in 2007, right? Bell University will not go on strike.
No.
Ogun State University will go on strike. FUNAB will go on strike. So the people that can afford will send their school to Obasanjo University or American University in Yola. So until those universities begin to go on strike, and ASU do not allow them to also go into class, that is the only point.
Meanwhile, they make sure that those universities are not operating.
So
the poor man's son and daughter should be infringed in terms of education, because this same ASU will go and lecture in private university.
Sure.
But the poor man cannot go to private university to go and have lectures. So if you want to be serious for once, government should put a law whereby a public officer should send their children to public schools. You look at the Rufai, he tried it, he ran away when Boko Haram started. Now, if private institutions are not go on strike, you will see federal government will react. Because they are the owners of these private institutions. And what they are trying to do is that they are asking people to leave government school and come to their school. Look at what has gone to in primary and secondary school level. Please, which school is your daughter going?
Oh, of course.
Now you see, if we're
private
not
or
careful, the government universities will go to drink just like what we have for both primary and secondary schools.
All right.
And care has to be taken.
Maybe someday we'll adopt the Rwandan model where a lot of public schools are working even better than the private schools.
Absolutely, we can.
And all of
It
that.
has, we have you want this country.
If it has happened in Rwanda, it can happen
But
in
it has happened in
Nigeria.
Nigeria too before.
Yeah.
It has happened before.
These leaders enjoy the same thing.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Obaniyi Akinwale, thank you so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure. Thanks
Thank
for
you very
having me.
much. Dr. Dayo Kayode, thank you for coming as well.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Right.